Hello, I'm Pocket here, back again playing some more EVE Online. We are once again on Cassandra, going to continue our Alpha 2.0 project. Day 2. It says Day 3. I logged in a couple times to claim the rewards and accidentally claimed the Day 2, which is a defensive ship module. But we're going to go ahead and claim this Cerebral Accelerator as well. We're probably going to save that, potentially. What this does for new players is it speeds up your character's training for 48 hours. If it doesn't expire, I'm going to hold on to it. We're going to take a look at the details. It may be one of those things we have to use within a certain length of time. So we will see. But we're going to claim that. It's going to go into our redeeming queue. We already did claim our Christmas gifts for the day, I think. Yes, we did. Right here. So we're going to have to go through all that too. I got a whole bunch of stuff. Once we dock up, we can figure that out. There are some augmentations I might consider putting on our character. I got them on Kel, so let's just get right into it and we'll get to our career agents and we'll go from there. So it is Christmas next week, so I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do for Thursday. You should be watching this video on Monday, which is the 23rd. I'm not sure what I'll do for Thursday. If I happen to get time to record either a second alpha video or a mission running video, I will post that. But I probably won't get either of those done. We'll have to see how it goes. But we'll play that one by ear. Can I? Yep. We're all, yeah. I don't want this to come in yet. We're going to close this. Check this box. It won't pop up. There we go. So we have selected our destination. Oh, wow, what's that doing up here? We can just minimize that. We don't need that. So there's our redeeming queue. So this is what I was talking about. As you can see that they all have an expiry date. Here's our Cerebral Accelerator. So basically we have 180 days on anything in here right now. And this one expires... Oh yeah, that expires in February. That's not so bad. And once we're over 45 days, we can't use it. Okay, that is cool. So we have a little bit of time. We'll save it. All right. The distance to the agent is too far to warp for the warp drive of your ship. We will have to use stargates to jump between solar systems. So that's the circle with the arrow. Those are your stargates. And this is the name of the system. This is the security status and all that. So we're going to go ahead and follow because we have a destination set. We have the yellow one that's showing us our path. And this is jump here where you can hold D and click on it. You can right click and go into the menu here. And the circle menu, if we wanted to, should like that, but that one's trickier. Well, it's not trickier, I just don't use it, so I don't use it enough to really say. Anything else? We have email? Where did we get an email from? Oh, that's, yeah, okay. We'll leave that. We are going to move Cassandra into Malro as well once we dock up. I should have an invite for it as well. So I will get that dealt with. Just in case we decide to take advantage. The tutorial we want to keep. Let's get rid of Chilling Spree. I'm not going to worry about that. I mean, it's nice on this character. I should be doing it. And maybe once we dock up, we'll put a festival launcher on our ship. But for now, we'll just ignore it. We don't need this for now. We don't need this for now. Just to free up some room, get a nice clear view. So once... we can stack these as well. So once they're loaded, apparently, oh, because we're in the jump gate tunnel, did it too late. So we'll get headed to our next system, reload all our guns. Once they have the same amount of ammo, you can stack them, or you can click this button to group them, and then you only have to press one button to shoot both guns. So you can stack them like that. You can see there's a 2, so F1 will now shoot both guns. Nice little trick. We can put that up here. So now we have F1 and F2 for all of our modules. Obviously, as the ship gets bigger and you get more modules, you adjust that a little more. We don't have a skill training because it's been more than 2 days. So let's see what we're going to do next. For now, we are going to kind of focus on... I'm going to hit this little arrow to suck this up so it's all icons instead. And we are going to kind of focus on... Let's do trajectory analysis. So what that does is it gives us... 5% bonus to weapon turret accuracy fall off, so it gets us a little bit longer range. Surgical strike is our tracking. Oh, damage of all turret weapons. Yeah, so surgical strike is good too. Sharpshooter's tracking then. Right. Did I just go over? Sharpshooter. 5% bonus weapon turret optimal range. Yeah, so sort of trajectory analysis and sharpshooter. Let's just get that in there. Let's get sharpshooter in here. I think we'll take this one off. We'll put some surgical strike in. We're just going to kind of get most of these up to 3/4. We'll do like the most impactful ones up at the top, just so that this one happens earlier, so we might see it. Controlled burst is good as well. It reduces capacitor usage. We can actually throw that in. We need one that's less than 3 hours, or less than. Let's go to Galente Frigate. We'll stick that right in here. And 14 hours is probably too much. That'll do. Okay, that gets us a day's training. Let's keep going. So yeah, to do the chilling spree, if you're new, this here. Hit one capsuleer with a snowball, a festival snowball, and receive 10,000 skill points, which isn't actually bad for us. I mean, it does accelerate our training a fair bit. So we'll probably try to do it. Especially in the noob systems, it might not be so bad. In quieter systems, sometimes you have to get friends to come let you shoot them with snowballs, which is fine. I haven't been doing it on Kel. It doesn't. He's too busy. And he has a lot of skill points as it is, so not overly necessary. So we're going to get over one more jump. Yeah, this is the system. I wonder how far we are from Pemin. Let's take a look. And we're going to dock at our station. You can see it's yellow because that's part of our waypoint. Solar system. 11 jumps isn't bad. We can, once we're ready, once we've done the career agents, it takes us just a little bit of time to get over there. And then we'll start the career agents. And again, so I know in my last video I put a list. I forgot one step. After the career agents, we're going to probably do the Sisters of Eve epic arc, because that is a really good place for new bros to go and just learn some more mechanics, get some ISK, get some ships, that sort of thing. There's lots of really good rewards for running those missions. And it's an epic arc. You can do it once every 3 months. So especially early on in your career, it's worth going back and redoing it. There's a couple missions where you might run into trouble, and it's been a while since I did it, so I'm hoping I don't run into trouble. My hope would be to be in a Tristan or an Algos by the time we hit that. I think we're going to go that way, sort of Tristan, Algos, Vexor, drone-based Praxis. Can we? And we're going to sort this by by tag, but this way. Okay. So if you sort by tag, when you have waypoint set, your next waypoint will be at the top. So it's nice and easy to find. I'll show you that when we undock again. So the other thing we're going to do is unfudge. Let's unfudge the overview once we undock as well. But here's our career agents here. So we have advanced military, industry, business, exploration, and military career. And I do highly recommend going through all 5. Congratulations, you've navigated to the agent successfully. Now you should make contact to begin your conversation. Double click their portrait in the agents tab. So over here, agents tab, as you can see, and press start conversation. So we're going to just start with the military tab because that's the one we're more interested in. Although actually, hang on. I think it's let's do the industry one first, because I think there's a point where we can get that started. Let's just see. It's been a while since I've done these. So we have to move Veldspar and we get a mining laser. Okay, we're going to do the military ones first, because that's going to get us a combat ship. There's one of the business or the industry one where you have to wait for a manufacturing job. Sometimes when I used to remember how to do it, I would go to that point and then start another career agent, but we can do that. So cash flow for capsuleers. I'm not going to read all the storyline stuff. You guys can read that when you go through it. But we're going to clear the pirates from the asteroid belt as your agent requested. And we're going to get another 75mm Gatling railgun and antimatter smalls. So let's accept that. Now we're just going to do a quick inventory. Let's grab all this. Once we move to Pemin, we'll just move it. I'll probably just bring Kel out here to haul it in his hauler if it's too big. So let's just redeem it all. No, cancel. We don't want to redeem the skill points. We're going to save those because this 10,000 has an expiry, but we're good for now. So we're going to hold off. But we are going to get the rest of this. We get a defensive ship module as well, so. Bling. So this is a bunch of the Christmas stuff. It's 13 days. You don't know. Every day you log in. There's some presents. You get extra presents if you are a Omega. But we get some interesting things here, so let's take a look. So let's see what this is. This is our day 3 alpha. So all alphas will get this on day 3. So yep, because we're Galente, we got an armor repper. Small IA polarized armor repper. Cool. We can't use it yet. We should actually probably train that. In fact, we'll probably switch our... So we'd also get a Festival Destroyer skins and Snowball crates. So this is nice. We're going to get an Algo skin, I think. Oh, a Catalyst. It's right. So if you're new, skins are... They lock to your account once you activate them or lock to your character. So we'll probably only give her ones that we're going to use, but they change the color of your ship. So there's the skin for the Christmas event. Turn it off. That's like the base skin. And then there's all these different skins. There's different ways to get them, but that's pretty cool. These ones are pretty nice. Like, I'm not opposed to that color scheme. I like it. Capsulers should be able to express themselves with bright colors. Most of these will probably sit on. I like to save them up and give them away later. When we get new players who missed this thing, I can give them away to new players. If it's a ship we're going to use, like if we end up going to a Catalyst, we'll use it. But what's this one? Dancer, O2 filament and crates. Okay, so these filaments, these ones here that look like reindeer, randomly warp within a certain range. They warp everybody within that range that's in the same fleet or whatever to a random location in nullsec to go have some fun. So use those if you want to get exploded or explode people. This is the type 2, so it sort of gets different ranges. Dasher and Dancer, they're all named after the reindeer. Facial augmentations. Oops. I'm just going to quickly open these. So these are cool. We might throw one of these on. So they go on your character creator and they add like a little details to your face that aren't already there. So it's pretty cool. Kel is wearing a different face one, not the Christmas one. A couple of my characters use them. Fireworks, snowballs, and frigate skins. This. What do we get for frigates? Atron. So we may end up using this. We'll see. I think, like I said, I want to go Tristan anyways, but finish that. More snowballs. And tier 1 filaments. So this is just your standard abyssal filaments. If you've seen my alpha abyssal stuff or any of my abyssal stuff, that's what these are. And there we go. So it's all open. Reason I did that is I wanted to put this on my ship, which I can't do without taking away a gun, so we won't bother. We'll wait till we get our next ship. Alright, cool. Cool. Undock. So between episodes, I may put the facial augmentation on her, I may not. I do have the torso augmentations on Kel as well, which I might do. Just to liven it up. And that's the 2 skill points. We're not going to use those. So these creations are pretty easy. We're going to go to this belt. And again, you can see here, it's very busy. There's lots of going on. See, we could like chase one of these guys down and shoot them with our snowballs. But we're just going to go ahead and warp here. Let's move this down. Can I move it down? Should let me. Oh, I wanted to switch my overview up. We'll do that in a second. Actually, I can do it now. So there are many overviews to use if you need one. Look online. There's a couple. I forget what they're called. I used to use them, but I've been developing my own personal one that suits my needs. It's based on an old faction warfare one, and I do save it on Keltoran Rose bio. So if you just go here and click this link, if you want to use mine, that's great. I try to keep it updated when I make changes. I do all the changes from Cal, and now you can see it's much different now. Some of this has to be resized because it obviously isn't right. And I bet you I have like things like tutorial agents turned off and stuff. Yeah. Oh, there they are. So this is my travel tab. It doesn't show any sort of fightable stuff. Standard is everything, sort of. And then combat trims it down to just the stuff you might need during combat. And you sort by tag, so it sorts that way. It's easier to see things. So we are going to orbit at... We're going to orbit at 500. I'm going to get in range. I can only block one? Oh, too far away. Okay. And we're just going to go kill these guys. Now, we'll probably loot these as well. And we're going to slowly be upgrading our ship as we go here. So we're going to bounce off that structure, so I'm going to sort of turn myself this way so we don't bounce off this. And once we're in within fall off, we'll start shooting, so under 3,000. Now we can continue the orbit. Because we should catch him. Can we hit him? Blam! 9 damage. Beautiful. Alright, we're going to start sort of sorting these things out so I'm comfortable. So you can see I'm sort of multitasking. You get better at that as you go. This is all too big. We want this one down. Can we lock these guys? No. I'm going to bring this down a little. This is my velocity like I was talking about, so I can see how fast they're going. Angular velocity. And then we're going to shrink this down just enough that I can see the beginning of the tag. And then everything else kind of shrinks to match. And this is just how I like it. How are we doing? We're almost in range on that guy. Okay, shrink this down. Move this over here. Perfect. Okay, we start shooting. So one of the other things that was mentioned after my last video in the comments section, good time to point it out now. When I was struggling to hit one of those other targets, another thing I could have done is turn off my afterburner. What that'll do is it'll bring my addition to the angular velocity down. So right now, the angular velocity is basically their speed and direction and my speed and direction have positive and negative effects on it. So reducing my speed, or as I did, flying towards or away from them, removes my portion of the angular velocity and it'll help you hit. I figured it was too advanced for the first video, and we'll play with that as we go. It's not a big deal here. This stuff is all very easy. So now I have a nice little Rex tab, so you can see that. So at the end of the video, at the end of the combat, once everything's dead. So this is obviously really easy. Perfect. Okay, so let's go grab the one wreck. And while we do that, we're going to actually add armor repping to our skills. I think we have it. We don't even have it. We need this. So what's going to happen is we're probably going to get this skill as part of the mission. So don't buy any skill books to start, because you're going to get some as part of the career agents. Good habit to get into at the end of a fight is reload, or at the end of any combat where you're not expecting to get into a fight right away. In PvP, it can be different. You may want to hold off on reloading until you know you're not going to get jumped while it's reloading, especially on guns that take a long time to reload, like rapid light missiles. But in this case, I'm done. I know I'm not going to fight again. This way I know I have a full clip, full load, full... I don't even know what it would be in a ship. Magazine? I don't know. Your gun is full of ammo. Yeah, this afterburner is so slow. I can't imagine it's having that much of effect on my tracking. But then, oh, look at this drill. That's really cool. Lots of really pretty things to look at. Like, that's a huge drill if you think about it. Very huge. Okay, can we loot this thing already? Yes, we can. Stop the ship. Loot. Nice. We'll grab that. And then we'll dock up. Nice thing is there's only one station. That's why I use this tab for the most part. When I get into bigger fights, like when we're doing invasions or PvP fleets that involve many ships, I often switch this. The beacons are here because it's faction warfare. And the beacons are important in faction warfare. And then the sun, I mean, you never actually want to escape to the sun, but it helps me. I like having it here because it helps me remember what system we're in. And again, if you sort this by icon, when you set a destination, it'll be at the top. If you're in a fleet and you set by the tag, not the icon, sorry, you sort by tag. Because what happens is, in a fleet, if the FC is calling out targets, it'll pull those targets to the top, so they're easier to find. Because if you have a full thing, like if you're on this tab and this is just full, I can't actually change it because it's loading, full of target ships, like it's over full now, it would pull any of their targets, anything they've tagged, up to the top. Hope that, and again, if that type of stuff doesn't make sense, don't worry about it yet. That's all going to come later. There's a lot of stuff that you will learn as you go, especially if you get in with a good group of guys that teach you these things. We need to hide some of this again because I don't know why. Go away. Wow, everything's a little laggy today. Okay, there we go. I don't need that. I don't need that. And for now, we'll leave Chilling Spree up to remind me to do it, but we need a new ship first. So we get the Gatling gun. We get some ammo. It's only a 1x Gatling gun, so we'll probably stick with the blasters, maybe? We'll see what it tells us to do. So cash flow for capsules, it's 10 missions. Part 2. Acquire these goods. So eliminate the pirates and rescue the civilian miner they are holding as a captive. The civilian will be transferred to your cargo hold once you've destroyed the frigates, and we're going to get an Atron. I'm not going to go ahead and apply a skin Well, you know what? I can give her a skin. We'll skin the Atron because I like it. And we get, look at that ISK. Like, we're at 170 now. We're going to like double our ISK if we do it. If we do it within 4 hours. So keep an eye on this. If you're not going to finish it right away, you may want to wait to accept it. A shield booster or armor repair. Well, we can't. I was figuring you would have given me the skill book already. Well, we'll see how much trouble it is. We do have the armor repper, but we can't fit it because we need the skill. We could buy the skill and just train it, but then if they give us the skill book later... Yeah, we'll just leave it for now. Okay, let's just see how it goes. Undock. We'll see how long it takes. I mean, I'd like to get through like each agent in one video, but we'll see, because some of them take a little longer as we get further on, especially advanced military. There's some things that happen. If we had the snowball thing, we could take one of these guys out. There's some more noobs, new bros. Local. See if anybody's saying anything in local. No, nothing important. All right, we're gonna get in the habit of keeping local up again. So I'm just gonna put this in the right spot, just like that. And then, oh, so the chat is nice. You can go like this, show compact members list, so it takes away the portraits so you can see more. And in here you can do the same thing to the actual text. Show text only is how I like it. Just because there's a limited amount of space on your screen, you want to kind of maximize its use as best you can. That's good right there, I think. So you can see local is mostly greens. That's because they're all in the noob corp. Next time we dock up, remind me, and I'm going to join our corp as well. Show you what that looks like. Now we're going to go ahead and orbit. We're going to afterburner. We're out of range to lock. We're going to... Why am I off center? There we go. Oh, because I was tracking. That's why I was off center. How close do we have to be? 26 kilometers. That will change too, because as you... Different ships will have different targeting ranges, skills, modules will add and subtract, well, mostly add. Enemy E-War can subtract from it, so you always kind of work within what's best for your ship. We should have dropped off this Afterburner's micro warp drive as well, or put it on, although I don't think I have the skills for it because I don't have anything. We're not even close to range, but we can lock these now. So if you show info, we can go to requirements. Yeah, we can use this. Pretty sweet. Okay, cool. We can put that on and go even faster next time. Can we... This is the one we're closest to. Let's orbit him. I guess we're closest to this one technically, but that's fine. We'll see how bad this is for damage, because we can't fit a repair module, and I'm kind of not going to buy a skill book, because I'm pretty sure they give us one. Okay, these are going down easy. We have a wreck to loot. We could probably grab it before we get out of range. We'll take the ammo. So if you're quick, you can grab it before you get out of range in that case, as you saw. And now it's gray, like I said, so we know we've already looked at it. We don't have to go back to it. That's a little out of range we're going to miss. Okay, now we can start shooting. Sweet. Yeah, this isn't so bad. They're still not hitting us too hard. They'll give us... We'll get that Atron started to fit up before they really start being a pain. Do we have a wreck here? No. You can set it up so the wreck shows up here only when it hasn't been looked at and everything, but it clutters up my overview. I'd rather either do this or like zoom out and look at it from here. But I like seeing the ship when I'm playing as much as I can, so... Yeah, I want that micro warp drive, I think, for the next refit. We'll put it on the Atron so we can go real fast. Close these distances. We may turn it off when we get into orbit, because it's probably going to really tax our capacitor at this stage in the game. Did I miss it? I missed it. It's okay, we'll get it at the end. Let's shoot this guy. Actually, we can pull him towards it, I think. He'll come towards it, right? Just kind of maximizing our time. Okay, that's it. That was it. That was simple. Okay. Some more ammo. This stage in the game, this way we don't have to buy any. I don't think we're going to have an ammo problem. Dock up, reload gun. The nice thing here is you can see this. So it tells you what damage types. So all hybrids do kinetic and thermal to some degree. If it does more thermal than kinetic, it flipped the icons. And it sorts it here in, I think it's highest DPS to lowest DPS. So if you have different ammo types in your cargo hold, they list here. And the top one is your most damage, and the bottom one is your longest, usually your longest range. Most ammo types are the sort of short range DPS ammo to range low DPS ammo. And we can show you that. Again, that's all advanced. We'll show you that as we go, because there are times when you want to carry multiple types of ammo, especially in PvP fleets. If you're doing something that you're at range, but you want to bring short range ammo in case you get jumped and you need to switch to higher DPS or something. Lots and lots and lots to learn. So we've got a long way to go, and I don't even know everything, so I am definitely going to miss stuff. So definitely check the comments, because a lot of times people that watch the videos that know something I don't know, they'll post it down there. Do be careful, even about things I say. Always do your research. EVE University is a good place for that, and talking to people, finding a trusted group of people to talk to is super good as well to get to verify information, because I get things wrong, and I notice sometimes people put their assumptions down in the comment section, and it's also incorrect. And again, I'm guilty of it as well, but just be aware. There's so much that nobody knows everything. And even the people that know a lot don't know everything. So we got an Atron. We got another... We're going to get 2 more railguns for it. Do we want to do railgun fit Atron? So we need to get secret documents. Destroy the pirates and loot the secret documents from them and report back to your agent. Okay. So we're going to accept the mission, and let's get into our Atron. I think we can fly it. So right-click, assemble ship. So you can see it here in our ship hangar. And the quickest way to... So we're going to leave... you can either right-click... Sorry, I'll just show you. Right-click, and then somewhere in here, make active. Would put it as your active ship. Or if you're in this view, you can grab this icon. You can't grab it out of here, so don't try. If you try to drag this out, it just creates... Oops, if I try to drag this out, it just gives me its cargo. Quickest way to unfit a ship, if you're never going to use it again, is to just repackage it. Repackaging removes kill marks and that sort of thing, but puts it in here ready for transport, throws all your items into the bin here. Alright, Atron. So this is our Atron, and it is pretty. Cool ship. I had a lot of fun in Atrons. And we are going to go ahead and use this filament. This filament? So right-click, activate skin, because why not? And we're going to skin it up. There we go. It's free. It's pretty. All right. So we don't have any fits saved. So let's start fitting up our ship. I'm going to see if we can use this. We do have 3 railguns. So what we're going to do is we're going to look. And here's what you do. So 8 railgun blaster. Okay. Is that the light electron blaster too? Yep. We have iron charges, so we're going to carry those too, so I can show you that when we're undocked. We're going to load both of our guns. Now, this is something you don't do. I'm not undocking like this. You typically don't want to fit 2 types. There are a few ships where it's okay. For example, a lot of the Minmatar ships, for example, my Loki, will have a bunch of turret slots, and then a couple of missile ones that can't fit turrets anyway, so in that case it's okay to put missiles in there if you're not going to use it for something else. But in this case, you can see I have 4 high slots. This shows me how many turret slots I have, so I have 3 turret slots. So this one will be empty. I can't fit missiles. But you don't want to do this. But what I'm doing is, here's our railgun. With the antimatter smalls, it does between 3,000 and 6,000 range, or almost 7,000, for 11 damage per second per turret, with a tracking of 150. Light electron blaster is between 500 and 2,000 on this ship. 17 damage per second per turret, with a tracking of 500. So we have to get closer, but it does a lot more damage. So that's the difference between rails and blasters. And we are just going to do rails because it makes the missions a little easier, because you're not constantly chasing dudes. But we have the micro warp drive, actually. You know what? Let's just do it all. Let's just go in. We're going to go all in with the... Do I only have 2 blasters, though? Yeah, I only have the 2 blasters. So in this case, I am going to do railguns, because it uses all of my turret slots, which is going to end up being probably a little more damage. Right? Because it was 7 more damage per blaster, but we're going to get a full 11 damage out of this one. We're going to load it with antimatter. Load it with antimatter. And so iron is an example of one of the other types of ammo, so we're going to do this as well. This is another thing you don't do, is 2 types of ammo typically, but so you can see we go to 14 kilometers, but only 5 damage per second. Right? So this is your like longer range, lower DPS ammo. And all of these things combine to create how your ship functions and how you're going to pilot it, that sort of thing. We're going to put that in there. We do have a slot now, so we can put this in there and load it with some snowballs. This is a festival launcher. They come... if you don't have any, let me know. I can send you one. I probably have a dozen. But you get them free throughout the year because they want you using them. Like, I already have 3 on this character, and we've only logged in twice. So as long as you get in during an event, you will get these. And we're going to repackage these. Repackage. The reason I repackage them is so they'll stack. See, if I do this now, they stack together. That's just me. I wish... I'm really tempted to just do this and throw it in here in case we need it. But we're going to wait because I'm sure they're going to give us something. So we're going to go fast. You can see we have 4 minutes on our capacitor, so we're not going to want to run this the whole time. If we go into Simulate Fit and we turn all this off, we can use the micro warp drive in unlimited as long as we're also not shooting. Once we start shooting because we're in range, we turn off the MWD. It's that simple. Cool. We're good to go. We have our nice big, look at that, right on the head, missile launcher. This is fun too if you care. You can, for example, let's just play with it. So if we're fitting up our ship and I want to move this, oh yeah, right, because there's already 3, we take this off. So you can see where the turrets are. If we put this in this spot, it moves the missile launcher over to the wings, and then we can put a turret on its head. The other option would be to have the turret, the missile launcher on this wing, and I think it's the side here, but I like this one. That's going to be a good setup because it matters. It's actually good in this case because we can overheat our guns and there's a heat sink, but that's, again, that's advanced stuff that we're not even going to touch right now. I've accepted the mission. We are good to go. Undock. Let's just shrink this back down into my corner. All right. Moving along pretty quick. That's half an hour. We're going to go for an hour in these. I think EVE is a long-form game, and with this kind of playthrough, if it's not like tutorial-like, I want to target somebody. Let me target this guy. Let's see if he'll let me shoot him. Target is invulnerable. It's because he just came out. So we do this, shoot a fireball at him before he gets off grid, and we get our Chilling Spree skill points. Alright, beautiful. Throwing a snowball does not give you any sort of trouble. Safety's green, so it wouldn't let us do it anyways. And we just got 10,000 skill points, which once we can use to speed up, but we're going to save it, because when we get the armor skill, we're going to use it to jump straight into armor repping. Alright, there's our beautiful Atron in its purple and blue skin. I really like it. The red stuff at the end I can do without, but on some of the ships it really adds to the look. Atron's a little weird, because it's just sort of here. Some of the bigger ships, where it spreads out a little more, is really cool. Some of the longer ships. It might look good on the... Most of what we're going to use are going to be bulbous. Okay. Ooh, Weber drones. These have to die. So we have a lot of stuff here to deal with. We probably would have liked to have the Repper in this case. We're going to put this on 5. And we're going to put this here so we can use it. We're going to orbit it. We have to actually set our orbit to 3,000 now, because we don't need to get in that close. And we're going to turn this off when we get close to range and open up with our guns. So you can see we hit him. There, he's dead. Wait for that runner drone to come in. I don't know what it's doing. So you can see here, if I hover over this and go to right click, there's our antimatter at top because that's what's in, and then iron charge is there, so we can switch to the ammo type. We are just going to shoot this guy because that's what I should have been doing this whole time. Let's chase this thing down. So one of the things with the micro warp drive or any of the burners is your align time. So remember we talked about your warp align time. Using a prop mod will increase how long it takes you to turn into a direction that you're trying to face. So managing your speed and stuff like that comes into play, especially later on in the game when you need to move quickly. All right, we got our contract thing. Can we? We'll MWD over to this guy. 1 pulse should get us in range. What's our max again? 7. So we can start shooting once we're within like 7. Because by the time we've pressed the button and it's registered, we'll be in range. We're going to just sort of turn towards them. We're going to do 1 pulse of our MWD. MWD is short for micro warp drive. So if you hear that being thrown around, that's what that means. When I do use abbreviations, I'm going to try to catch myself. I think we have to catch this guy, which... It's been a while since I've done these missions. This guy's faster than us? No, he's not faster than us. We just blew by him because of the MWD. Okay, he warps off. We have our contracts and we are good to go. Sweet. This needs to come. Actually, hang on, stop. Check Rex. We'll MWD this one. We won't for this one. So it does take time based on your ship's size. It has a mass. It takes time to speed up and slow down. So like you can see, we're still kind of accelerating here. We'll take lead, sure. And then we're going to MWD over to this one. We're going to do 1 pulse. So you can see it's taking his time, taking his time, taking his time. I'm going to turn this off, and once it ends, we'll slow back down. And if we slam on the brakes, which we're going to have to do now, you'll see it still takes us time. Like my ship is stopping, and I blew right past the wreck anyway. Another one of these. That actually might be good too, because that's a cold gas, which is the enduring, I think. Yeah, so that one uses less capacitor. The restrained uses less, well, power grid. Or, yeah, power grid. Alright, so we're getting ourselves a little collection of things that we can start playing with to see how they work. Yeah, so the restrained, I believe, is less power grid. So if you go to show info, this is actually kind of cool as well. You can go up here and click on compare. We'll get this little window. So if you want to see what the difference is between two, we can just put the other one in here. It shows them both. There's your estimated price. And what I like to do is go up here and only show attributes that differ. And there we go. Oh yeah, it's the capacitor, right. Because MWDs, when you put micro warp drives on, they use a certain amount of your capacitor. So they actually take away from your overall capacitor. So the restraint takes less. But the end has less radius, so it makes us a little harder to shoot. That's the big difference. And then the other thing is your activation cost. So these are the 3 stats that are different, right? So depending on what you need, you can adjust them out. So we can use less capacitor, but have a bigger signature radius and less overall capacitor. So it's micro warp drives are interesting that way. So you can see what it does here. In the ship, we have 4 minutes 20 seconds with the fit as it is. If we switch this to this, we are now stable with our guns on. But we are easier to target, we are easier to hit because we're easier to track a little bit because we get a bigger signature bloom. But we're going to do that so we don't have capacitor problems as much. Alright. Now what are you giving us? 2 more railguns, which is nice when we do get up to a catalyst because I think they're going to give us a catalyst as part of this mess. It'd be nice if you could pick, but I think it's because drones. They don't want you getting a Tristan and Algos and having to do a bunch of training for drones. Cash flow for Capsuleer's request mission. So we do have 2 more railguns. And some more ammo, I think. 2 more railguns. Where'd they go? What? Maybe that's not what it gave me. Maybe I misread it. Oh, or something. Oh, no, it's not in here either. Did I look at that wrong? Doesn't matter. We don't need it. Warp to the dead space area, find the Stargate and approach it. We'll get a 1 meganewton afterburner, which is going to replace this, which might be nice, maybe over the MWD because we are railguns. So we can kite, which means we can stay at our range a lot easier and still hit. We'll get an afterburner for this, so let's go do it. And again, we're not going to waste our snowballs because we already got our 1 point. So... yeah, there's another Atron there. So you are not able to target things for a few seconds after you undock. Let's reload this because I forgot. So you can see now this is our higher DPS than the lead. The lead is probably longer range than the iron. I'd have to check it, but I'm pretty sure that's right. We can actually just... no. Okay, we'll do it this way. Iron charge, show info, remember, and then we compare. Yeah, I know. We're on site. That's okay. And then it just shows, so there's our damages, and there's our range bonus, and our capacity usage. So hybrids also use different capacitors, so there's some tweak in there. But you can see we get a 60% range bonus with iron. Okay, yeah, so longest range is at the top. Must be. Because we're doing more damage with the lead. That's relatively new, and I haven't been paying that much attention. But yeah, so it's longer range, higher DPS. Sweet. Okay. We have to approach. So we're going to zoom out here. You can see one of these structures. It's going to be a Stargate. Usually I have them on my overview, but it's turned off for some reason. I think I have it on... I had it on one of these at some point, but I've now removed it. That's okay. So I'm just going to add them to the main one. So if you right-click on anything that's not showing on your overview, you can add it. And they wanted us to go the Smuggler's Stargate. And we're going to approach that. And we're going to approach it with our micro warp drive on for 1 pulse. So we don't get stuck on it. Because that's a bit of a pain if you get bouncing off of things. We're going to hit the brakes. So we should be in range now. You need to approach the fortified... Oh. Yeah, there we go. Why did it make an alarm noise? Oh, we're being shot by something. The gate's defenses. Get out. Not that it's a big deal. We were being shot by the gate's defenses. So that's cool. That's what the alarm was, I think. I guess that's something else we can show that's kind of important. So you have this here. So the outside one is your shields. If you hover over it, it'll show you. This is your shield bar. So if you're applying shield mods, it affects this bar mostly. Middle one is your armor. We're Galente, so most of what we're going to do is going to be this middle bar. We don't care as much about the top bar typically. And then the last bar is your structure. Once the structure hits 0, your ship explodes. So you use it first, usually your shields and your armor, to buffer against taking damage into your structure. There are, especially in the Galente, times when you would actually tank in the structure because you can get a lot of hit points that way. But it's not something we're likely to do. We're going to do armor because we're Galente. But that's what those 3 bars mean. And we're going to complete our mission. This is too big, that's why I'm confused. Usually I have it down like this big. Complete the mission, we get our afterburner. Request mission. Still no skill books. That is interesting. I thought we would have got it by now. Oh, they're going to give us a shield tanking rig for some reason. That's a little silly. They should be giving... It's a civilian one anyway, but still, it's a little silly to give us a shield rig. Meet up with the pirate at the repair post, follows instructions, and report back. So we are ransoming somebody. If we read the story, we'd know what's going on, and I highly recommend you read the story. I'm going to save that for you guys. You can pause my videos and read the text if you'd like, so you know what's going on. But that's kind of not what I'm about at this point for this stuff. All right, undock. I think we're good, right? Yeah, we're good. Oh, wait. Next time. I keep forgetting. So usually in Malro, we recommend that people finish the career agents before they join up. Just for us, that's to make sure they're still going to play the game. Because, you know, we put a lot of effort into our new bros a lot of the times. And we are willing to, you know, we help. But get through the career agents, find out what you like. Because once you know kind of where you're pointed, makes, well, and I'm not saying just from Malro, but from Malro specifically, I can speak to it. Makes our job a lot easier once you know that you like doing industry. We know who on our side can help you best, right? All right, so we're going to follow some instructions. For this one, I'm going to bring this up because I believe the instructions happen down here in the local chat. So we're going to risk local chat. We need to attack the Watchman. So we're going to orbit. I could have put the afterburner on, but that's okay. We're going to do 1 pulse just to get sort of do our range, but probably don't need it. We should kill him pretty quick. Our standings is decreasing with the Serpentis because we keep shooting them. Once we slow down, because that was our micro warp drive, so we were missing because we were going too fast, so my traversal added to it. And you can see I went way out to like 6 kilometers. Now I'm closing back in. Probably could have just done it without the micro warp drive, to be honest. Kind of a habit that I like to... Nicely done. Oh, he's going to... Yeah. So he's going to give it to me here, so I can pull this back down. I thought it was going to be in the chat, but... Nicely done. Perhaps we'll meet some other day. For now, I'll be making my way back to base in my capsule. Okay, so that was a test to see if we're strong enough to join his team, to be friends. Probably should be reading the storyline so we know what's going on, but you know. We don't need to pulse the micro-warp drive, but we are going to reload. If I hit the micro-warp drive now, I'm going to shoot past it. Let's minimize this stuff. That's once we're at 24 kilometers or less, you can open it. And we get a hobgoblin. Sweet, we get a drone. Alright, now we can dock back up. Can we even use the drone? Probably not. Requirements? No, we need light drone operation 1 to be able to use the drones. That is something I don't think they're going to give us. But we will wait till we're the career agents before we start applying points to things and buying skill books. Because we're getting a fair bit. We're almost at 1,000,000 ESC. Which means we're getting close to being able to buy some stuff if we really wanted to like outfit the ship. But again, for the career agents, you don't need to. They give you everything that you need. So my recommendation is save everything. Sell the stuff you don't want so that you get the ISK. But save some of the ships. Because if you go through it, you end up getting a hauler as well. So you can put everything in a hauler. And then, well, I don't necessarily recommend you throw everything in the hauler and move. Because if you go through the wrong area of space, you can lose everything. But again, that's a story that that's something we will adjust to once we see the end here. I'll probably just haul it all in my hauler. But we'll talk about that when we get there. If you are new and you're at that point, reach out to me and we can talk about it. You just got to be careful. You don't want to lose everything. So we got a civilian thermal dissipation field, which is a shield tanking mod for an armor tanking race. Let's see. So this was cash flow 6 of 10. Destroy Wolf's outpost. You'll find him you'll find it in the final room of the complex. Okay. So here's the thing. These are implants, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But that's going to be our reward for this. So let's take a look at our ship. I mean, it's really silly, but we're going to actually, because we're kind of a kiter platform, we don't need to close the distance. We're going to switch to this 1 meganewton afterburner, not the civilian. So you can see here, if we go navigation, we go simulate fit. With the civilian, we go to 763. With the non-civilian, it's way better, right? We'll go over 1,000. So we're going to be fast. Oops. Yes, we're going to exit the simulation. Throw that on there. And we're good to go. Boop-a-doo, boop-a-doo. So one thing I just want to quickly do, so I can get rid of the other, like the other corp chats. I can't think of words anymore. We're going to go to social, corporation, recruitment, my applications. We're going to accept it. There we go. We've now joined Malro. Beautiful. Now that means we are going to be paying taxes, but that's okay. We do have a 3% tax. One day we may drop it. I'm looking forward to it, but it helps us pay for fuel. Clone bays aren't cheap. Well, they are, but they're not free, I guess is more like it. So we have to work our way through a complex. This is kind of more how missions are usually set up. Marshal. Police battleship. We don't need, we're going to turn this on, whoops, permanently. So this is a shield hardener, so it gives us a 35% bonus to our shield resistances, which is something we will get into more once we start fitting our own ships, but these are your different damage type resistances. So say this is 50%, in fact this explosive is 50, so if they're shooting us with explosive damage, we only take 50% of their damage per shot. Okay. So you can see here, if we turn this off, we're doing that's overheating. We're not going to do that. So off is 20%, on is 35% more. You notice that it's not actually 35% more though, right? 20% to 48% isn't 35%. What it does is it takes the remainder and gives you 35% of that. So in this case, we have 100% remaining. If we had a EM resist module, this would go up to 35%. What this is giving us is 35% of the remaining 80%. So there's a penalty there, and then the more you have, there's also a stacking penalty. So adding 4 of them, you start really not seeing a change. Again, really the stuff that makes this game interesting for me is like the fitting and figuring out what you want to do. So we're going to jump into the first, what's called a room. So this is an acceleration gate. I don't know if we've done one of these yet. What it does is it shoots you to a space. It's called dead space. So when you warp to a spot, that's one thing. But when you take an acceleration gate, you go to a place, you can't warp directly to these. Usually if you try, like if you made a bookmark, you'd end up at the gate again. And then you have to jump in. So it's what's called a dead space pocket. It's off the grid. And then you have to use the acceleration gates. Pirates use them to hide their activities. So we're going to use the afterburner, and we're going to try running with it just on. Because we are cap stable, and we should be able to track fine. We'll see how tracking goes. We may turn it off. So we are hitting, and that's fine. This keeps us up at 1,000, so we're shooting, going fast. And you see they're probably going to miss us a lot at this point. So we're doing what's called speed tanking. We're traveling fast enough that they just can't hit us. We're just going to lock up everything we can here. And we're just going to shoot our way through this. We're missing this one, but we're now in orbit, so we're going to let ourselves settle down and see how this goes. Because a lot of that might have been us buzzing by them and adjusting angles and that sort of thing. The other thing you do get is you get a bounty. This is way too big. You do get a bounty per target, so if you highlight this, you can see what the bounty is. And then every about 15 minutes, they pay out your bounties. Concord does. Concord are like the space police. They're basically keeping capsuleers in control so that we don't take over from non-capsuleer baseliners, as they're called. So we are missing a fair bit. So now that we're in range, I might just turn this off and slow orbit these. Just so that we're likely to hit more. The other thing too is tracking isn't just a hit or miss. It also has the effect of you do different levels of hits. Look on Eve University, they have the whole list. You go from miss to glancing blow all the way down to like wrecking shot, which is like a critical hit. And so just because you're hitting doesn't necessarily mean that's optimal, because you could be hitting harder, but it also makes you easier to hit, right? So there's this balancing act of my speed versus their speed versus my tracking and their tracking, and who's hitting harder, and etc, etc. No loot from any of these wrecks, eh? Oh, there's one there. I didn't want to lock that. That's a habit. We're going to do that. We're going to start locking these. We're going to loot at the end for now, unless we're like in range of the wreck at the time. So we're going to orbit this guy. Now we're going to turn the micro or the afterburner off, and we should just kind of coast into range and slow down. Yeah, beautiful. And we'll just start locking up as we kill targets. It's everything. And so this is like more of what a mission is like. You go in, you kill a bunch of rats, you take an acceleration gate, and rinse and repeat. So you can see our ship, we're being missed. We're going to do this really quick. Boom. Grab a couple screenshots as we're here. Orbit this guy because he's kind of in our optimal already. And then grab this guy. These are nice and fast, these guns. As you get up to bigger ships, it takes longer for them to cycle, so you gotta like be a little more careful. But in this case, we're just gonna try to burn through this stuff quick as we can. There we go. Any more loot? Any more guys? See, this is why I had them turned off. Like, there's a lot of crap in this room. So I'm gonna remove them again, and if we need it, we'll find it. Alright. We're gonna quickly loot the one wreck. And while we do that, we're going to reload our guns, just so we have enough. Now, we could probably do this whole mission on one clip. I'm going to call it a clip, right or wrong. It's probably a magazine. I think that's like the nautical term. Someone will tell me, I'm sure. So it's going to take us about 10, 12 seconds to get into range. We're going to slam on the brakes so we don't overshoot it. That should just coast us right into range. We can probably just approach it now. Kind of prematurely slammed on the brakes. This ship is more agile than the stuff I usually find. We're going to grab that. That'll be something we can potentially use. And then we're going to jump this gate. We got lucky and we're right on it. So you'll see now we're going to align to it. We get the bar. If I had my afterburner on, this bar would take longer because I have to turn. Although I was kind of headed in the right direction there too. That worked out quite well. We have to get the outposts. So it is there. You can just zoom out and find these things too sometimes. Like, this is easy because it's the only one. And we're on range, so we're just going to not move so that we're not applying any angular velocity. We're going to target it, and we're going to shoot. We'll see what happens. Oh no, we got ambushed. We can kill these guys if we want. So let's do that. We'll start orbiting. They're stationary, so they'll be pretty easy to hit anyway. We'll see. If we get in trouble, we'll warp out, but do I only get 3 targets? No, I can do 4. This is a very bright pocket. Nice big explosions. For the space station that we destroyed. We're just going to watch here. Are we missing? No, he's just structure. Heavy structure. Okay. We're going to try to catch one of these explosions. I like the screenshots of the explosions and stuff. I think it'll make for a good... Wait for it. Yeah. Look at those screenshots. Such a pretty game. Okay, let's start shooting these ships. Are they in range? I can't even see this freaking thing. There we go. That guy's not really in range. But that's okay. We do have a bit of... We're going to start missing. So let's turn those off so we don't waste ammo. Close the distance a little more and start shooting him again. Okay. Orbit this guy. We could be using W and just holding it and clicking on our things to orbit, which is also good. Getting used to those hotkeys is a good idea. It just makes you more efficient, quicker to react to things. And you can just, like I said, hover over these and see Q, S. The main one's going to be Q, W, and E, and Control. If you want to untarget things, you can click this button, or you hold Control Shift and do it. Can we just kill that, and then I can loot these 2 wrecks, and there's some cargo containers. They're going to have ammo. It looks like maybe missiles. What are they shooting? Blasters. So that'll be ammo that we can use probably, unless it's medium or large. But yeah, they're blaster fit, little sentry turrets. But we'll get them with our railguns. We can probably actually even just stop our ship, so that we're tracking better. Because if we're in range, he's going to track us anyway. There we go. Let's see what we get for ammo. Let's see what we get. Some plutonium charges. Small, nice. Grab this one. We're a little out of range, so we're going to turn and face him. We'll just turn this on for now. Loot again. Okay. Dairy products, sure. That's from the structure, the base. Again, at this stage in the game, it's worth it for me to loot up because it's all things that we can fit to our new ships when we get them and use to make just a little bit easier. Ooh, nice. An Amar drone for some reason. They want to be doing EM damage, I suppose. For some reason. And another Hobgoblin. Cool. Alright, and dock up. So, reload our gun. You can see we're getting a nice little collection of ammo. Iron, lead, plutonium. Ooh. No, antimatter's in the gun. So we still got lots. For this whole thing, we'll probably be just using antimatter, but we got some reports. We got some dairy products. We got some water. It's all stuff we're going to end up selling. Hopefully someone's buying them in the area and we can just sell it to local buy orders, but it's not really worth hauling to market, but excuse me, hiccup there all of a sudden. Alright. So what were we getting for this? We were getting an implant. Alright, implants. Cool. Implants are great. They take a little bit of getting used to. There's some things you can do with them, though, that are awesome. Just beware they're one-time use. Once you've plugged them in, if you ever unplug them or lose the clone, you lose the implant. So let's take a look at this implant. We're at almost $1 million. We're $1.5 million plus. Okay. So we're going to scroll down. Here's our implant. So show information. So this is a limited ocular filter. So the first thing is it gives us a +1 to perception. What perception does. Time to talk about it. We're going to talk about this real quick, and then I'm going to end this episode, and then in the next episode we should be able to finish up this agent and start the next. Actually, let's see what we have. Hold up. What level are we on here? Yeah. We have 3 more missions. There goes my speaker. I just threw it off my desk. So if you look at your character and you look at attributes, you have these stats. Now, basically, they're balanced, but what these do, and there's math to it, we're not going to go through the math, but they affect how fast you train skills. So this +1 will mean any skill that uses the perception attribute to calculate its training time will train a little bit faster. You can see all that here if we go to the skill and you click information. and you go to attributes. So this mechanics skill, primary attribute is intelligence, and secondary attribute is memory. So we basically get twice as much benefit for intelligence as memory, but it takes these two skills and uses math to figure out how fast you train this skill. And then the training multiplier determines how long it takes. So basically how many skill points it takes per level, and then your speed is how many skill points you get per minute training that skill. Does that make sense? And so there's things you can do to optimize this. Right now we're going to leave it flat. We're going to plug in this implant, because a lot of the skills, like for example, the one that we're training, primary attribute is perception. A lot of your gunnery skills will be perception. So we're going to we might even see it if we see, so 3 minutes 37 seconds. So you right click and we plug this in, which we're going to do. Might as well. Yeah, we lost a few seconds. I mean, it's not a lot of this one, but it probably also reduced all of this and reduced our overall training. Yeah, I forgot to check that beginning, but there we go. So we've sped up some of our training. And we'll plug those in as we go. We might get a full set. I don't remember. As we do the different agents, we might get a full set of implants. So if you also go to the character and you go to augmentations, you can see what implants you have on. Did we actually use that? We did. I used it right away for some reason. All right, well, we'll have to make sure I log in to do skills. I might do that just so we don't waste this accelerator. I don't remember activating it. We get a day 23 hours out of it. There's ways to extend that, but we're not worried about that for now. All right, because I don't even think we have the skill. There's a biology skill for that. But yeah, implants increase your training speed. Yeah, we don't have the skill. Won't worry about that for now. The implants, as you go up the levels, do take skills to be able to use them, but we're good for now. All right, so this is the end of the first half of the military career agent. I did decide to split it into two, so depending on where I cut it, it's going to be a little bit awkward, but this is future pockets telling you that this is being split into two, so stay tuned for the second half, which I will release as well, probably this Thursday instead of a mission blitzing one, just because I won't have time to record again. So stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed the first half of the military career. Yeah, I explained a lot of good things, had a lot of fun. We're getting our Atron fit up here quite nicely, and she's quite a little beast. So stay tuned for part 2, and we'll catch y'all next time. As always, take care of each other, and I'm out of here.